Hello, Greg. I uh, I went to a meeting this evening. First one I've got to go to other than my jail meeting. I just been to it once. Hello, Patrick. Hello, Melanie. Kim. Love you too, Patrick. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Don Mathis. Julie. Hi, Julie. I said I wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but I ain't sleepy yet. And anyway, I went to a meeting this evening, and it was like I said, it was the first one I've been to in a little bit. And hi, Julie. First one I've been to in a little bit. I went to the jail meeting the other day, but I got to see a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while. I don't go to this meeting that often, so my schedule changed and everything, but it was really cool being there. I could just sit. I got to sit and listen. Hi, Paula. Hi, Ashley. But their topic tonight was having a vision. Doing great, Patrick. Jacob, doing great. Going 9 meetings a week and working hard, buddy. Ah, there you go, man. That's music to my ears. Hello, Daniel. It's good seeing you tonight. Uh, like I said, I went to a meeting I hadn't got a chance to go to in a while, and I got to see a lot of people I didn't get to see. And I didn't talk much because Lance is here, and I had to come. I mean, I didn't talk any to the meeting, but I enjoyed listening. And I didn't talk after the meeting much because Lance is home. He was hungry, blah blah blah. But the topic was a vision, for the recovery and being judgmental, a couple different things, blah blah. But I enjoyed listening to him. Think my videos are great. I'm a movie star. Thank you, Julie. Really, I really like doing this. I do. I really like doing this. But it's good for my recovery. I would have never dreamed I'd be doing this before, but thanks to some other people doing it before me, like everything else that comes in this recovery, it's got monkey see, monkey do. But I enjoyed listening to them and their visions for their recovery, And I remember the first thing I say, I didn't have a vision. I had a bunch of fucking questions. Love you too, brother. I love you too. I've never had a vision. I'm not a vision. I've never been a goal maker or a goal setter in my life. Hi, Pamela. But when I got clean, like I say, the closest thing I had a vision when I got clean was to just go back to the way it was before I got on the shit. Well, thank you, Julie. My vision for recovery. First off, I didn't know what recovery was. I've never heard of that in context with addiction. I had to get in a dictionary, encyclopedias, and all that shit trying to figure out what the hell recovery was. What are you looking at me like that for, dude?
What are you doing?
I'm talking. So I really never had a vision for it because I had no idea what the hell it was. Like I said, I had a bunch of damn questions. Like, well, thank you. Thank you, Ashley. My questions were like, what the fuck happened? How did I do the things I done? Blah, blah, blah. How come I didn't quit a long time ago? Blah, blah, blah. All questions. Everything hit me blindside. Like I said in one of them other, hi, Teresa. Like I said in one of my other videos, man, everything since I got clean come as a complete shock to me. All I wanted in the beginning, my vision was, again, to just go back before I got on the shit, the dope, the crank, the meth, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I know today, had I done that, I would have got right back into it again or something. I didn't know anything about the disease of addiction. I didn't know anything about anything. like I said, only thing I knew about, like, what the fuck, you know. Had I went back to like I wanted to, without the tools I have now, I would have just strung out again. My life would have just become unmanageable. You know, I would have done it all over again. But the next closest thing I had to a vision, you know, is for the sadness to go away, the depression to go away, the anxiety, if there was. I think I was too depressed to have anxiety. Uh, the anhedonia to go away. I wanted relationships in my life to be mended, you know, and again, I didn't know what recovery was. I wanted kind of to be. I wanted my finances not to be as fucked up as they were because I had messed them up big time, people. So don't come, like I said again, don't come to me for financial advice. Uh, but I didn't have any idea what lay ahead of me, or how my life could have. I had no idea I'd be where I am today. I'll put it that way. I remember. I remember when I first got into recovery. Before I got into recovery, I got hooked on. I was on an internet site. See, my mind. I kind of think of myself as like the judgmental thing today was like one judgment, judging other people. See, I kind of get off on calling myself a real addict. You know, and I'm not saying nobody else is an addict or nobody else is a real addict, but I remember when I was into AA, some of the old times would call themselves real alcoholics. And I thought, what the hell are they talking about? You know, they was talking about how one drink and they're gone, you know. And I wasn't quite like that. But when I get into the basic text and it works how and why and all that kind of stuff, I can completely identify with the mental process that goes on, you know, and the feelings and emotions and all that shit, you know. But when my mind is always looking for a fix, something to get obsessed on, something. So when I'm obsessing, for some reason or other, when I'm obsessing about something, I'm like fulfilled, you know, whether it be something shitty or something good. When I'm obsessing, it takes up every bit of what is me, you know, and I'm like fucking fulfilled. My mind is always looking for something to obsess about. And when I first actually about 2 years after I got off the shit, I found an internet site. And they was talking, that's where I first heard the word really, heard people was telling me, don't sound like you're in recovery, dude. And that's when I started trying to figure out what the hell recovery was. And I could read the definitions, like I said again, you know, and I could hear these things, but I could not comprehend what that meant. Again, because I had never experienced that. But I got addicted to the damn internet. I thought it was the internet, but it was just, I was treating my disease and I didn't even know it. I was kind of getting out of myself, talking about what was going on in my life, you know. Other people was talking about what was going on in their life. We was making a human connection, even though it was over the phone or over the internet. I got a phone now. But everything else in my life, you know, that's happened between then, it's been an obsession. You know, when I got into recovery and I started, I've been reading trying to figure out who God was. I was reading all kinds of shit, trying to figure out about God and trying to figure out what I did in my mind. Like the question, what the fuck do you do yourself, dude? And is it ever going to go away? You ever going to get better? Blah, blah, blah. And I got involved in recovery, and then I got this other vision, you know. Maybe it's a vision. It's like, oh, you're supposed to be an addiction counselor, Greg. So I go to, you know, I start chasing libraries, you know. I end up going up to the Columbus, whatever that place is, Ivy Tech, signed up for college, blah, blah, blah. You know, took everything, signed up for all my courses, and, you know, then it finally dawned on me, dude, you're going to have to take out a student loan. You know, and then you're probably going to have to go back to work construction, pay for a student loan. You ain't going to be an addiction counselor. You're going to be a 50-year-old fucking construction worker trying to pay for a college education they can't use, you know. But when I had that so-called vision, I call it obsession, you know, I chased that shit, man. Like I said, I was in Brownstown, Seymour, Columbus, both libraries in Columbus, man. I signed up for everything. I mean, it finally clicks to do that. This ain't what you're supposed to be doing, you know. This ain't it. So I kind of disheartened a little bit. And then again, you know, it weren't too bad. It weren't too hard to say no, because I was about to fucking go back to work to pay for an education I weren't going to use. But I guess the next thing, the next thing when I started going to church, hello, Tara Ryan, hope you're doing well tonight. I started going to church, man, when I was in church, man, the Spirit of God was so strong, man, I just sat crying most of the time. If you're either crying in shame or crying happy or crying and grateful or crying something, just like, woo. I didn't know if I liked it or didn't like it, but I thought, dude, maybe you're supposed to be a preacher. I thought, oh, hell. But, I mean, actually, I did, It was like, that was the vision I got. It was like, you're supposed to be a preacher. Then I thought, well, the most used vocabulary until you have is the word fuck. So you're not going to be getting very good up there behind the pulpit, man. Fuck, But that's actually something. See, I was lost. I had no idea when I got clean who the hell I was, or what the hell I was supposed to be doing, or where I was supposed to be going in my life. Nothing. I'd lost my identity. I didn't have a fucking clue in the world of who I was, or where I was going, or what my future looked like, or what my vision for my recovery was. I had none of that shit. I was fucking lost. Thank God there was people around me, that were doing things that I could follow them around like a little pup, or I could listen to them, I never asked no questions, man, because, I asked a ton of questions. But in the beginning, when it come about my recovery, like, what do you think I should do? I wasn't asking questions because if it weren't what I thought I was supposed to do, I was going to get pissed, I was fucked up, And I was for a long time. As a matter of fact, still am, But as far as what recovery looked like and where I was going in my life and all that stuff, again, I'm probably going to repeat this 1,000 times. I was fucking lost. I did not have a clue. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. I didn't know how to be an adult. I didn't know none of that shit. All my life, from the first time I got high, my vision was to get high. That's it. I got married. We had kids. I bought this house. I built onto the house. Built a pond out back. Bought some more property beside the place. But all this stuff was just things that was going on in my life while I chased the buzz. That's it. This other stuff that are so important to me today, my family, my home, and my place, and God and all these things. God wasn't even back in my life back then, but all these things were just things that kind of passed through my life while my vision was getting high, brother. Finding ways and means to get more. Finding ways and means to get more. Just like NA says, I'm a real addict. Like I said, the only thing I thought about being a preacher, I thought, oh, Lord have mercy, that's crazy. But, what's happened is like, I used to share this in meetings some, it's like, my recovery has been like, I've walked through a series of all these invisible doors. Hello, Mike Fish. I used to talk about this in recovery, but I haven't talked about it much. It's like, I just want to quit hating. My closest thing, I wanted to quit hating myself. I guess you could call that a vision. I wanted to quit beating up on myself. I wanted to be financially stable. I wanted my Kathy's relationships to be healed back up. I wanted these things, but they wasn't like a vision for my recovery. They were just things that fucking Greg knew was fucked up, and what I found since I've been, before I got involved in recovery, and that again, for me, that's the 12-step programs and private therapy and counseling and men's groups and all the things that I've been through, I wish I could remember half of what the shit people said. I wish I remember just pieces of it, but it's like, I remember after I got involved in recovery, and I was around people who were recovering, and some of them even knew what recovery was. They had been experiencing that for years, maybe. That don't mean my recovery is going to be the same as theirs, and that don't mean the next person's going to be the same as theirs. Blah, blah. They had, I guess, maybe they had a vision, maybe they didn't have a vision. I don't know, but they give me something to look at. And to be perfectly honest, I didn't like some of it. I could have given a shit less about some of it, and some of it kind of inspired me. But it was just like, I remember, just like I said, going through them invisible doors, man. I walk in one day. I wake up and I'm in this room where I I didn't hate myself as much as I did in the room behind me. One day I wake up and mine and Kathy's relationship is better than it was in the room behind me. I'd walk through these doors just slowly, man, just one door at a time, one door at a time, and my life got better. That is something, again, that's something that did not happen before I got involved in the recovery community. I have no vision for what my life's going to be tomorrow or next week or next year. I'm just not that type of person. I remember when they first started talking about living in a day and one day at a time. It's like I didn't have no clue what that meant. When I first started hearing about it, I was thinking, now why the fuck would I want to live in this day? I'm dying here, and this was a long time after I got off the ship. It's like, why would I want to live in this? This is the last damn place on earth I would want to be, in this day right here, and I really didn't understand that I needed a change in perspective, a change in thinking, a change in attitude, a total change. And I didn't know how to make them things happen, And it damn sure was, for me, I couldn't see myself after these things had happened, I didn't have no vision of what that would look like. Everything for me has been in hindsight. Hindsight 2020, they say, and I'm so thankful that they were people done this before me, and I'm thankful for the people that's going to do this after me, and I'm thankful for all the people who's doing this with me, because I'm just thankful, man. It says in recovery, it says if we would write down all the things we expected to get out of this stuff, we would somehow it says we would severely shortchange ourselves, is what it says. And man, that's the truth. Good God, that's the truth. It's just like, I had no, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I had no idea what peace I could have in my life. I had no idea what gratitude I could have in my life. Hi, Tony. It was good to see you. Hi, Debbie. If I in the beginning, if I'd had a vision for what my recovery would have come out to be, it would be just exactly what I am right now. I think. Because I can't see it get much better. Like I said, the vision for next year, I hope you surprise the hell out of me. Hi, Tony. Again, it was good seeing you last night or tonight. It just, I don't know, man. This is just so cool to be involved in this thing where my life is changing for the better. I read somewhere, maybe I don't know which program it was in, but this was talking about God. It says if we were to define Him as an absolute, we would rob ourselves on a grand scale of what He could truly be for us. And I can put that in context with my recovery. If I could define what I wanted to be tomorrow, or what my recovery was going to be like next year or 5 years down the road, I would probably rob myself on a grand scale of what it's probably going to turn out to be if I keep doing what I've been doing. And I keep doing it with the people I've been doing it with. I am amazed at my life compared to what it was. And I'm not trying to say this is like I think I'm better than anybody or my life is better than anybody else, but on a grand scale, it is so much better than what it used to be. And it just amazes me, Like I said, when I was hearing people sharing about their vision, it just kind of took me back, it took me like, man, they got like a vision? you know, bless their hearts. That it just kind of blew me away, you know. Like I said, I've never been that person. One of the other guys said, you know, he never had visions either, you know, or never been a goal setter. I can identify with him, you know, very well. I could identify with him. I really couldn't identify with the others, but you know, that's cool. We're not all the same, you know, and our recoveries are not all the same, and where we're going in life is not all the same. If you really want to get a comprehension of where we can go and how different we are, read It Works How and Why. Read The Journey Continues. You know, if you really want to know how different we are and how much we change, read The Journey Continues. It's a cool book. I don't know, you know, I just want to talk a little bit about that, you know. I had all kinds of stuff going through my head on the way home, you know. Mainly, the main thing going through my head on home, like, the only fucking vision I had was to go back to the way it was before I got on shit, you know. I'm so glad I didn't do that. You know, if I keep doing these things, I'm going to keep saying that too, you know. I'm so glad I didn't go back to the way it was before I got on the shit. Because I was on a downhill, I was headed downhill then too and didn't even know it. You know, I'm not heading downhill anymore. But I'm getting old. You know, that fucking bitch. But beats the alternative. I don't know, man. I look forward to whatever my recovery is going to look like next year, and a year after that, and a year after that, and a year after that. I have no idea what it's going to look like or what it's going to be like. But since I've gotten recovery, it has only gotten better. You know, that's the coolest thing in the world, because after I got off the dope and before I got in recovery, it only got worse. You know, they say this, that our disease is progressive. And it ain't got a goddamn thing to do with the dope. The dope is what we use to kill ourselves with, and what we will use to destroy our lives with, you know. Someone was saying today that the dope took everything, you know, and I know it's just terminology. The dope didn't take nothing from me. I give every motherfucking thing away for the dope. You know, everything. It didn't take nothing. I give it all away for the dope. You know. And I didn't come up with that either. I heard that like anything else that comes out of my mouth that makes any sense. I heard it from someone else, you know. And them are the reasons, hearing them things and being able to apply them to my life are the reasons that my recovery is where it is today, wherever that might be, you know. And I'm not trying to put it on a scale of 1 to 10 or anything like that. I just know I'm so much better off than I was, you know. I don't know, man. I just want to share that a little bit. I thought it was kind of funny that my only vision was to go back before the dope, you know. Anyway, I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. I got this addictive shit going on in my head. You know, my vision right now, while I'm talking to you, my head's out there at that fucking pond. You know, that's my wife calling. She probably coming in about 2 minutes. Like I said, my brain is constantly in search of a buzz. And I'm not talking about dope. You know, I'm talking about something to, I can't even think of the word right now. Something to set it off, man. Just like I say, last year building bows. This year and the end of last year, it was trying to get this pond straightened up. When I get the pond where I want it, I got the bow thing, you know. I have no idea what I'll be doing next year. But I'm sure as hell certain that whatever I do, I will be doing it addictively. I will be obsessing about it. You know, I got no problem with that today. You know, that's the coolest thing about maybe where I'm at today. I got no problem being an addict. You know, I never would have visualized that. You know, I don't mind being an addict at all, man. I enjoy enjoying shit to the extent I do. You know, I just got to stay away from dope. As long as I do that, I know next year will be better, and next year will be better. Anywho, that's all I want to say, man. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow. I love y'all. And if anybody ever here is watching this that I seen tonight, I love y'all too. You know, like I say, it was good to see you again and good to listen to you. Hello, John. I know one thing. Last 2 or 3 times I did these and I hit the finish, it cuts me off about 2 minutes before I'm actually finished. What's causing that shit? Okay, I'm gonna sit here and stare at you for a couple seconds. Well, maybe not. I'm just gonna rattle, and then I'm gonna hit finish. Good to see you too, Tim. Hey, it was especially good to hear you talk, brother. I'm glad you're feeling it. I'm glad you're loosening up. That's gonna take you a long way, brother. It's going to take you a long way, man. I didn't start getting better till I started talking. And it tickled me to death. And I could identify with everything you said, too. You know, everything you said. I love you, brother. I'm going to get off here, I reckon. Finish this thing out. Y'all have a good night.